Hey Shooby-Doodlers, how are you doing? Do you know the second most searched how to draw query is how to draw a boy? So I thought I better do my own version. Let's not talk about it. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to start off in pencil, drawing a circle, and do not press too hard because you're going to want to erase this later. You could use something to draw around as well if you want, so that would help. And then we want to come down at this kind of an angle like that there. And if you get halfway there, and we want about the same distance again, so it's sort of into thirds, and then we're going to want that to sort of come down into a chin down there like that. So now we can get rid of those marks. Ooh, that's made a mess. And then we can draw a line down the middle just to help, and then we want to find the midway from the top. So that's roughly where the eyebrows are going to go. That is where the bottom of that circle is roughly where the nose is going to go, and that's roughly where the mouth is going to go. So let's start the eyebrows sort of up about there like that, and then the eyes will want to come in. It's a boy, so we don't want them too close together, so they're going to be roughly about there. And then the nose is going to be like two little brackets, and then the mouth will be about there, and then you're going to want to have the ears just sort of up to the eyebrows like that, and then we'll have the hair will be sort of coming down to about that third point there. So I'm going to draw So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a nice curve up like that and a curl there, and then ding, 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 and that will go like that. And then we're going to have the hair sort of pretty much sort of coming like that. And then we'll have something going on that side, and then that will be just slightly wider there. We're going to want a neck. Not too thin, not too thick. And then that will come to there. Now I'm going to start inking this in. If you're finding this a bit tricky, come and join me on Patreon, where you can get a help sheet for this and for lots more of my videos. You get background stuff and a whole lot more too. So I'm going to start up here and do this curl. And with the pen you can sometimes flick at the end and get a nice little sharp point, but sometimes you can sort of flick and go in the wrong place. But takes practice. I'm doing these sort of little curly bits there underneath this kind of cowlick of his hair, and I'm just going to bring that kind of down there into his sort of sideburn area like that. And we can do something else again similar down there, and then here we're just going to draw these kind of lines which are just going to mark out the outline of his hair down to the ears. And let's draw the ears there. So that ears are a bit like handles, aren't they, really? So, but you know, don't treat them like handles, that could be painful. And that will sort of go to there. And then let's draw the chin coming around like this down there, and that will want to come around up to there. Now the eyebrows we can do as a kind of a scribbly kind of thing, but that can go, you change the angle of the pen as you're going. So we sort of start doing sideways. Now that's almost vertical, and then we're going to go kind of out like that. He's got quite serious eyebrows. And I'm going to draw a curve across the top, and a curve across the top like that. This is feeling a bit flatter, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a flat one there and then a slightly higher one there, so they're kind of feeling sort of similar. This is the really tricky bit, is getting eyes the sort of same size. So I'm just going to do something like that. And now we got this line of the lower eye, and what I'm going to do is draw again like brackets. Okay, and again we want these to be sort of similar distance. And then that will go across there like that, and then we can draw the pupil and nearly shade it all in, but leave a little blob of white, which is kind of for the shininess, because we want it to look sort of bright and shiny. You could also maybe just put a little bit of 1, 2, 3, some little sort of hint of eyelashes in there. And then we could just sort of hesitatingly put a shadow underneath. Underneath there, mine are a bit more baggy than his. So little brackets there for the nose, and then we want to draw the nostrils like that, and then the mouth, just little curves, and then we're going to have a tiny little curve underneath, and then just shade it in a bit so I haven't got sort of a great massive load of teeth smiling at you. And then the lips, I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to put that there as the bottom, the shadow underneath the lip there. And while I'm looking at this, I'm just going to add a few more little bits of sort of hair in there and there and there. And then we can come down to the neck. Actually, and I'm going to give him little dimples, I think, as well. Why not? And then we can come down to the neck, and I'm going to just go slightly up a little bit there and then come around like that. So he's got a kind of a sweatshirt kind of thing, and we're making it kind of a slightly loose kind of sweatshirt like that, so comfortable, just in a little bit and around. And then we can sort of draw the ribbing on the sweatshirt neck like that, on the collar, and that can come down into his shoulders, and that can be dark too. You're going to see his throat, and then we're going to want to have his shoulders coming down like that, and I'll put a little bit of shading underneath there too. When you are absolutely sure that the ink is dry, then you can erase all those pencil lines, and no one will know how you ever worked it out and got it so sort of neat and together like that. Maybe a little bit more around there. Putting in the top line of the lips is really tricky. It's a really soft line, so what I tend to do is I come to this end and I do a little sort of curve up, and then again a little curve up, so you're not really getting the full thing, and I'm using it quite a light touch on the pen as well. You could put a little bit of shading in on the lip there too. You could put a tiny bit of shading in on the bottom lip, on the top lip there. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to put some lines in here just to put a bit of shade into his pupils. That actually makes him look a little bit more dreamy, doesn't it? Actually makes him look a bit more kind of sleepy. Maybe put a little bit of shading in his ears, and maybe something like that going up there. And there you go, how to draw a boy. Click down there and make sure you are subscribed to the Shoo Rayner drawing channel, and keep coming back for lots more drawing videos every week. In the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.